yeah, nothing like sniffing some of that exhaust in the morning, baby. Woo! What's going on today, guys? My name's Alex, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are talking about the muffler delete option on these Ram 1500 trucks. Whether it's good for you, my experience with having this thing on for a year, and if you do in fact actually lose a little power with this thing on your truck. So stick around because that's what we are discussing today. So first things first, I'm not gonna have any sound clips of this actual muffler on my truck, just because there's a lot of videos online with the sound of these trucks with the muffler delete on. And when I did have this on the truck, I really didn't have any proper microphones to actually pick up any decent tone. So in terms of sound, this thing is incredible. Like the sound quality that comes out of this truck with just the muffler delete option, phenomenal. And it's cheap too, which is, you know, what a lot of guys are looking for. So what I did, I left the cats on, I left the resonators on, and like I just said, this thing sounds incredible. Incredible. You know, right around 2,500 to 3,000 RPM, you just get this snappy, gnarly ass, you know, just sound coming out of the back. It's really incredible. And you almost have to hear it in person because it's a very good sound. Downsides. And this is exactly why I ended up taking this thing off. At highway speeds, there is a nasty drone. And I know some people say it's not that bad. I found it pretty terrible and unbearable. So right around 110 to 120 kilometers an hour, which is basically highway speeds, this thing just drones and drones and drones. I did actually take a decibel reading because I was actually kind of worried about my hearing. And I got anywhere from 75 to 80 decibels, which is, you know, well below the hearing damage threshold. So you're not going to damage your ears by any means, but it is pretty annoying. To a point where when I was doing any long highway stretch of driving, I'd actually put earplugs in. I ended up actually moving across the country and I pulled like a 6,000 pound trailer, you know, 5,000 kilometers, and I was not gonna listen to this thing hum, you know, bouncing off the back of my trailer for 10 hours a day, you know, for a full week. So that's why I ended up taking this off. It's not because it doesn't sound good. It's just if you are driving long highway stretches, I would caution you guys with putting this thing on. Now what's interesting is if you guys are driving, you know, country roads, let's say 90 to 95 kilometers an hour mainly, this truck is pretty quiet with this thing on. And I don't know if it's the harmonics with the resonators in there. I'm not sure what it is. It could just be the RPMs are a little bit lower. But at 90 to 95 kilometers an hour, this thing is almost silent, which is incredible if you're just driving country roads. Because, you know, as soon as you just step on the gas a little bit, the truck just comes to life, and you just, like I said, this thing sounds awesome for the price. So in conclusion with the sound, if you are looking for something really loud that sounds really nice, this is for you. And if you're looking for something cheap. But if you are driving a lot of highway kilometers, I'd be cautious because there is a pretty nasty drone with these things. Number one question I feel with these things is, first of all, what it sounds like, and secondly, what about the back pressure for the engine? Now, that's a complete myth. Let me put this down here. My biceps are hurting. But yes, back pressure is a complete myth. Engines do not need back pressure. They do need something in terms of back pressure, but we'll dive into it in a second. Now, Uncle Tony's Garage made a little video about back pressure, and it's actually a really good video if you guys want to check it out. But he mentions how the belief of back pressure with internal combustion engines may have come earlier in the 20th century when guys would run them just off the ports, basically just off the head, and they would run terribly. But then when you put a manifold and an exhaust system on it, they run much smoother. And so they maybe assume that the engine needs some kind of back pressure to regulate, you know, the exhaust valve, blah, blah, blah. Not the case. But there is some truth to having a manifold and exhaust system on an engine for it to run efficiently and properly. And that's what we'll dive into. Now, I imagine, like you guys have heard many times before, an engine is kind of like an air pump. The more air you can shove into it and the more air you can shove out of it, the more power the engine's going to have. And that's true, which is why you really don't want any back pressure. But what you want to make sure you have is proper exhaust velocity and proper exhaust scavenging. And now what I mean by that is, Every time a cylinder fires, it sends a pulse down the exhaust system, out the manifold, down the exhaust system. And that pulse creates a high pressure zone in the manifold or the collector. All right, there are a lot better examples on YouTube of this explanation, but we'll just go over the basics here. So basically, as each exhaust pulse, if my marker would work, kind of fires down the manifold, as it reaches the collector here, you kind of get a high pressure zone. And what that does is that in the manifolds closer to the block, you get a low pressure. And yeah, so what that does is you get a low pressure zone, which then helps to suck out the exhaust gas in the cylinder, which then just helps the engine run better. And this effect is what I mean when I talk about a vacuum effect. It helps to suck out the exhaust gases from the cylinder and to help suck in that fresh fuel air mixture. That vacuum, when the valves are overlapping at top dead center, helps to suck out some of that exhaust out of the cylinder, as well as suck in that air fuel mixture into the cylinder, helping to completely fill the cylinder with that air fuel mixture, therefore making the engine run much more efficiently and much more powerfully. Now, if you take those exhaust pulses or that exhaust velocity and you change it, you end up going to changing that scavenging characteristic of how much fresh air is going to be sucked in by that vacuum, or how much exhaust is going to be helped to suck out of the cylinder with that vacuum. So when our piston is at top dead center here, and we have our valve overlap situation going on, with that added low pressure zone in the exhaust manifold, what that's going to do is help to suck out a little more exhaust gas. Look at me with my colored markers, as well as help to suck in that fresh fuel air mixture in the cylinder. And now what we call this right here is called the scavenging effect. So that's what I mean when I talk about scavenging effect. And so, as you may have guessed, deleting the muffler on your truck, on this Ram 1500, is going to change that exhaust velocity characteristic and that scavenging characteristic a little bit. Muffler delete is opening up the exhaust. It's going to be able to breathe much more. So that exhaust, instead of being, let's say constricted, it's going to be opened up a lot more without that muffler. And so what you're going to see is that exhaust scavenging and the vacuum effect, which really helps an engine run, is going to change. So if this muffler delete pipe allows the exhaust on this truck, on this Ram 1500, to be less restrictive, what am I getting at? What I'm getting at is that lower RPMs, there's going to be less exhaust velocity, less vacuum in those manifolds, which is going to suck out less of that exhaust gas and suck in less of that fresh fuel air mixture, which is going to give you power. So at lower RPMs, what we're going to see theoretically is some power loss, some torque loss. And I don't have any dyno numbers for you. I looked online to see if I could see anybody that actually put their truck on a dyno, to see if there was actually some like real numbers lost, and I couldn't find that. But I did go on the forums, and it looks like a lot of people were, when they put the muffler delete pipe on their truck, were complaining about low-end power loss. I personally didn't really feel that much low-end power loss. To me, it just kind of felt the same. But again, going on the forums, you guys can do it for yourself. There's a lot of people that complain about low-end power loss with these muffler delete pipes on them. And that's exactly because the scavenging effect and the vacuum effect of that exhaust is somewhat compromised when you open it up a little bit. Now, on the flip side of that, what is also theoretically possible is at the high end, when you're revving up this truck, and so when the engine is running much faster and the exhaust velocity is already going to be extremely high, it doesn't really matter that the exhaust is less restrictive. In fact, it's probably a benefit that it's less restrictive, and you might actually gain some power at the top end. Now, once again, I looked for dyno numbers. I looked to see if anyone had, done these tests on an actual, scientific basis, if you will, and I couldn't really find anything. All I could resort back to is these forums and all these guys talking about their experience. And so, theoretically, it would be true if you did lose some power on the low end and did gain some power on the top end. But my thinking, and I feel like I'm probably not the only one, is when you buy a pickup truck, you're not necessarily buying it for the top end power. You kind of want that low end power. So when I say you lose some power with the muffler delete pipe, this is what I'm talking about. Now, like I mentioned earlier, an engine is basically just an air pump. As much air as you could throw in and as much air as you can get out, theoretically is going to give you more power. But as many things, it's not that simple. Because, yes, if realistically an engine that's running straight pipe with almost no restriction is going to be much more powerful. But these engines here are not tuned. They're not engineered to run straight piped. These newer engines are tuned very specifically, you know, to the exhaust characteristics to make these engines as efficient and as powerful as possible. And if you change the exhaust characteristic, how the exhaust gas flows out, you're going to change the scavenging effect, you're going to change the vacuum effect in those manifolds, and you're going to lose power. And now it seems kind of counterintuitive because you'd think the less restriction, the more power. And yes, if you tune this engine, which I'm sure there are tunes for a Muffler Delete, you're going to probably gain power. In fact, there's no way you wouldn't if you tune this thing properly. And the other solution is, if you don't want to lose power and you still want a really loud truck, you're going to have to pay for an engineered exhaust system, like something like a Magnaflow catback exhaust, or, you know, or a Magnaflow, you know, high flow cats. And those systems are actually engineered and built and tuned to the HEMI specifically so that you'll actually see a gain in power. And it's even as finicky as where you place the muffler, where the cats are placed, how the pipes are bent. All those come into effect when you're dealing with power loss and power gain on a new engine like 3rd gen HEMI. So I know I was like one of those people that, again, assumed that the less restrictive the exhaust system, the more power an engine's going to make. And it's just, like I said, it's just not that simple. And when you think about it, you know, companies like Mercedes, Ferrari, they spend millions and millions of dollars tuning their exhaust systems to have that perfect sound, as well as producing maximum power. And so, you know, tuning an exhaust system is almost a science of its own. So when you interrupt, let's say, your exhaust on your Ram 1500 with a Sawzall, I'm just kidding. Who would ever take a Sawzall to their exhaust? Or what we're talking about, the Muffler Delete pipe, it's gonna throw off the characteristics of how the engine is tuned from factory to run most efficiently and most powerfully. So yeah, unfortunately, if you do want to go the cheap route and just have a beautiful sounding exhaust, you may end up with some power loss at the low end. But if you're one of those people that just love to smash the throttle, you might even end up with some power gains at the top end. So it's not all negative. So guys, to conclude my 1 year review, let's say, of this Muffler Delete pipe, if you like loud, snarly V8 sounds coming out of your truck, this is a great option. It's cheap. I think I paid like 150 bucks for this, and it takes no time to install. Downside, like I briefly mentioned, if you are driving a lot of highway kilometers, I would be very cautious because there is a nasty drone with this thing. You know, it's not deafening. Like I said, I measure the decibel levels, and it's not gonna, you know, make you go deaf, but it's pretty loud. So just be aware of that. Silver lining of this is that if you are just driving a lot of country road kilometers or just driving around town, it's not really too loud unless you start mashing the pedal. And when you do, Jesus, does it freaking sound good. And I'm not lying, this thing sounds incredible. So if you're looking for a cheap option for some nice loud V8 sounds, not a bad option. But like we just talked about, it does come with a little bit of a downside. You're probably gonna end up losing a little bit of low end power just because of the way this engine is tuned to the specific exhaust characteristics, how you're gonna change the scavenging effect in the cylinder when those valves overlap and not allow as much fresh fuel mixture air into the cylinder to fill it fully, and you're gonna lose some low end power. And if you don't want to lose any power, but you still want your truck to sound real nice and loud, either you're gonna have to find some way to tune this engine to have this Muffler Delete pipe on here to make it run most efficiently, or what you're gonna have to do is go out and buy a much more expensive exhaust system that has been pre-engineered and tuned to run very well with this engine. I really didn't notice that much power loss especially in the low end. I just didn't notice it. I was aware of it, but I didn't think there was that much power loss. Now granted, I wasn't pulling any trailers at the time, I was just driving normally, so something to consider. So that's my 2 cents on the old muffler delete pipe. Hope you liked the video. If you did, maybe leave me a thumbs up. Always helps the channel and helps me out. And if you like stuff like this, guys, you know, truck stuff, mechanical stuff, off-roading stuff, and if you maybe even own a Ram 1500 yourself, maybe think about subscribing. That would be awesome. Love to have you around. But like usual, I'm talking too much. We will see you guys on the next freaking video.